Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so here's one of the little tricks I'm going to do to keep the power bait on a single hook a little bit better. Using my bait loop, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing I do for eggs when I'm plunking or even drift fishing or bobber fishing in faster water. What I do is I make egg sacks, or in this case, power sacks. So what we're going to just take what we're going to do is just take some of this material that I make egg sacks out of. And these don't have to be very big. I'm just going to take one here. The reason I like doing this is because this stuff gets taken off of there pretty easy. So I'm going to make it about the size of 2 of these. And I'm going to go a little bit bigger on this. I'm going to mush this into a nice little sack here. Twist it real tight. This is my glitter green. Get that yarn down there and go tight to the top of the ball, just like this. That's a lot better angle of doing it with this stuff. This ball looks a lot better, and you can't even see this material. Once I get this off of there, you can use whatever color you want. They've got red. This material, it blends in really well. Look at that. You know, and this is just a glitter. Now, a lot of people use a lot of the garlic. Sometimes the garlic works, sometimes it doesn't. It definitely works a lot for trout and steelhead and salmon. I use it all the time. That's why this bottle is so halfway empty here. But you can also take Procure or other bait scents and just go ahead and put this on this before you send it out. Or even mix it into a little bit of this and make your garlic bait balls if you don't have the garlic available, because everybody buys it out at the store and then it's all gone. So now that I've got this bait ball power sack put together here, now I can just take my little number 4 barbless hook, and you remember how I've got this bait loop tied to the back of the shank. So all you have to do is pull that piece of yarn out just like that, and I slide the knot to the top. Okay, now I'm just going to take this bait ball and I'm going to go right through the sack part, right through the other side, hook that thing on there, and I'm going to get that little hook to kind of stick out of the bottom here, because they come from the bottom when they come up to bite this stuff. Now take your egg loop. It's an egg loop, it's a bait loop. I use it for eggs more than anything on steelhead and salmon. Now just slowly tighten this down. Sometimes I'll slide the float up to the top of it so it sits up here. Run that loop around it, and then tighten it down on the sack. See how it's pinching down on the sack? Give it a nice good snug pinch. Now that thing is molded in there. Okay, that hook tip is sticking out right here on this corner. And this is going to stay together for a long time. I'm telling you, you can cast it, the fish will pick at it, it's not going to come off, and when a big one comes up to grab this hook is going to be right here for him. Okay, you can even get that hook out even a little bit more, and I push it in on the shank right there. So I've got a little bit better of a hook spot right there. So when the big one comes up and grabs that, you're good to go, and this is going to float up off the bottom like this. So anywhere from 2 to 7 feet, depending on how the bottom is with the weeds. And this is going to get you in a lot of fish. This is using my power sacks. Call it a power sack with my normal drift setup for steelhead and salmon fishing. But we're going to go ahead and use it for trout fishing now, using the same weight setup as we did before. So I hope this really helps you guys out. Again, this is going to be way easier. The mortality rate on the trout that you catch is going to be way lower. This hook will be barbless, and I can just easily pop it right out of those fish and not hurt them. And you could just use the float that I'm putting on here only with some scent, like Procure garlic smell or some type of trout scent. There's all kinds of scent that you can use. I catch the fish in the river all the time on sand shrimp smell. So you can use it just like this if you want and put some scent directly on there, and it's going to float up off the bottom for those trout in the lakes. This is my lake fishing setup, but it's also my normal drift setup for those of you that fish for the king salmon in the rivers with me and watch my videos, or steelhead in the rivers with me and watch my videos, or chum or coho. It doesn't matter. This rig is universally acceptable and works really good. It keeps the main line from getting caught in the rivers and the lakes. This lead weight will break away. You just put a new one on, and all of this usually comes back with your setup. So this weight's going to sit on the bottom here, and this is going to just float up just like this, however high you have it. If you've got it 2 feet off the bottom and it's a clear lake, you're okay. Just go 2 to 4 feet off the bottom. If there's a lot of growth inside the lake or wherever you're fishing, then bring it up 5 to 7 feet and get it up out of those weeds. It's really important to do that in order to get into those fish. A lot of people make the mistake of just going too short. They cast out into some weeds this high and their bait's floating down into the weeds. The fish are swimming just up here above the weeds. The fish will look at the top of the weeds as being the bottom. So if the bottom is yay deep and you see the growth of weeds are about that high, then try that. Now it's hard because you can't see out there. So what I do is I start long at about 5 feet and then start trimming it down. 7 feet is usually where I'm going to start at, and then I'll start trimming it down lower and lower and lower. Okay, I hope this helps you guys out on this Carolina rig. Again, this is not a fixed style. This is very important for those fish to not feel that weight when they're mouthing your bait. It gives them time to hook themselves and gives you time to set the hook. Just like in the river, when we're drift fishing or bobber dogging, you want to have that weight free so that those fish do not feel it when they're picking it up. Okay, I hope this helps you guys out in this Carolina rig setup that we've kind of adjusted into our own way so that it's more universally usable and a lot safer on the environment, and catch more fish because your line's in the water longer. You're not going to get snagged up on the bottom as much. Don't forget and don't hesitate to go barbless with these hooks, because it's easier to take out. The mortality rate when you let go a small trout is going to be way better, and the really tiny trout that have really tiny mouths aren't going to get this into their mouth as easy. So it's going to be a lot better on those fish and the future of fishing for everybody else. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, follow, and share. And don't forget, in the community section, you can post up all your trout or your king salmon, your steelhead, sturgeon, whatever you've caught, and start communicating in the community section. Have a good one, and I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you on the next one.